Hi folks, and welcome to a quick bonus video, because this isn't a video I'd planned. I actually planned to do a review. I sat down to do a review on Saturday. I sat down to do a review on Sunday. I sat down to do a review on Monday, and none of those reviews got made. So this is kind of like my first impressions of the brand new AMX M4 but it's also a quick channel update. I'm around. Unfortunately, I was working last week. I mentioned it on the stream a while ago that I was going to have a very busy third week in November, and it was very busy, but every time I've sat down to make videos, unfortunately my health has taken a tumble. If you're a long-term subscriber, maybe to the old streams I used to do or to the older videos I did, you'll know that basically I suffer from rheumatism and arthritis, basically as a result of a motorcycle accident. So cold weather doesn't agree with me, and Ireland has been going through an incredibly cold spell the last few days. So I've been very, let's just say, uncomfortable. That's a nice way of saying in a lot of pain. I've been very uncomfortable. I've had problems, and as a result, basically, I can't sleep. And so I'm short of sleep, I'm constantly exhausted, and every time I do try to sleep, the pain keeps me awake, and it's just been a nightmare few days. But I sat down on Saturday to try and make a video, and I got through some of it and then had to stop, and tried it again on Sunday, got through some of it, had to stop, tried it again on Monday, got through some of it, had to stop. So there's a bunch of stuff that's partially done and partially recorded. I just haven't been able to sit down and record it all in one lot, and try and get the videos out to you. I also have part of the prize giving part 2 gift giveaway, but that's partially done, but I need to finish that as well. And there's a lot of stuff that's partially made. There's actually one video that's completely made, but I don't like it, and I'm probably not going to release it. So that was basically 45 minutes of recording yesterday, and I just didn't like the final result, because I basically spent the entire 45 minutes ranting about Wargaming's policy on bloody premium tanks. So it's basically a 45-minute rant. So I don't think I'm going to be releasing that. I decided, I'm feeling okay right now. I've taken some painkillers, and as you could probably tell, I'm a little bit happy, I'm a little bit merry. So we're going to just play sometime during the recording session for the reviews I'm planning to bring out. And there are 4 reviews in the works. I just need to finish them. Basically, I purchased the AMX M4 Liberté. 49 Liberté, that's the full name. I've been able to play one game, a total of one game. I've been, as I say, not feeling great. So this is the one and only game I've played in the AMX M4 49 Liberté. Clown tank, as I think some people have started calling it. And I absolutely hate the camo, and I think Wargaming are bloody idiots for trying to turn this into a... I hate to say it if any of you guys are console games, but it's basically looks like a console bloody skin. Close shot in the move, but this is my first ever game, so I bought the tank. That's my first ever game, and we've just bounced an AMX M50 100, and now we've taken 2 shots. Trying to get into position, and I knew nothing about the tank, and in fact, you could tell this is my very first game in the tank because I bought it. I popped straight into the game, and I decided to give it a go, and I've forgotten, as you can see here, to change my ammo loadout. I've forgotten to put any equipment or consumables on the tank. There's no bloody equipment on the tank. There's no consumables on the tank because I forgot to. I just bought it, and my mind, as I say, a lack of sleep, I just click play with a brand new tank, and this is the result. So, I was going to go up to the castle here. We're playing on swamp, so we get a nice track shot, get a little bit of assistance damage from the Jackson, get spotted. There is RT in play, so what I knew, I didn't know anything much about the tank other than what some other YouTubers had mentioned, but the armor is good from the front, not great from the side or rear, and the cupola, not sure if it's commander's cupola because I haven't been shot there yet, but the cupola is a weak spot from the front. So if you're shooting these tanks, you basically want to shoot them. If you're shooting them from the front, you want to get the cupola. If you're shooting them anywhere else, side and rear, you're probably going to hurt them. And if you're playing this tank, you want to stay on the move, keep the cupola hidden, and keep your tank pointed directly towards enemy tanks at all time. But I didn't know much about this hadn't done any research, started playing the tank, and as I say, forgot to give it ammo, forgot to give it consumables or equipment. And my crew are okay. I can't remember what tank I pulled the crew from, but yeah, I was just looking forward to playing something new. And I have to say, my first impressions of this tank are very, very, very positive. The armor seems to be working. The gun depression is okay. Look at this. Get a shot into his lower glacis. Bounce. Stay on the move. Try and prevent easy shots of the cupola. He doesn't want to come up for me. Still waiting for Artie to take an interest, but move up. And gun depression seems okay. Not much to shoot at. Oh, KB3. So first shot in, get below his gun depression. He's not using the final gun, he misses. And the reload seems to be quite good, even though I haven't got the tank fully optimized, but good enough to reload, track the KB3 in place. And yeah, first impressions of this tank are quite positive. We're up to 1800. No, scratch that, 2000 damage so far. So, yeah, I'm very, very surprised. It's very, very un-French. Very, very un-French. Well armored. Decent gun, decent alpha, decent rate of fire. So yeah, I'm quite impressed. Look at all these shots. And reloads just in time to get the AMX 5100. So yeah, history. This tank never existed, by the way. It's called the AMX M4 Liberté because it was designed in 1949. But that's all. It was only a design, only exists on paper. It was never actually built. The French didn't really start building tanks again till the late 1950s, but it was a concept directly after World War II for a new French heavy tank. And as I say, at that time, I've covered it on previous videos, the French were planning to move away from heavy tanks, move towards big guns and mobility and less armor. So that's possibly, even though I haven't researched it, possibly one of the reasons why this tank was never adopted. But yeah, you know, frontal armor is good. A little bit worried about that other clown tank over there, the new, I'm calling it the Super Pershing Heavy, or maybe the T-32 Ultra. Yep, so I'll get around to buying that, or not buying, playing that tank eventually. I managed to get that tank as well, but as you can see, keeping the armor directly towards enemy tanks, it's just awesome. As long as you can keep your cupola hidden, the tank is just awesome. The T-26E5 is the one I'm a little bit worried about. And then an AMX M4 45 appears from nowhere. The little brother of this tank. So the other two tanks are up in the castle. They're not going to be a threat for the moment. And you can see the mobility is not great, but it's decent enough for a heavy. Get ammo racked, unfortunately, and it's not until I actually got ammo racked I realized, oh bugger, I forgot to put equipment, forgot to put consumables on the tank. But you know, even still, first game of the tank, we're up to 3,412 damage. The armor has been working incredibly well. And I'm just trying to get something else out of this game before it's over. The Bulldog is threatening our spawn. Come on, come on, come on. A little bit more extra damage, and yes, of course we bounce. Bounce on the rear of another clown tank. Yeah, okay. Yeah, legitimate. Legitimate. It's not even 9:17 yet. Those shots shouldn't be happening, but we managed to bounce on the engine deck of the T-26. T-34 dies before it can get around, and just two tanks left on the enemy team. As I say, an M41 Bulldog who's taking a grand tour of the map, and the clown tank, and I'm wondering, oh, we've capped out. Are we going to get any more damage? Should I risk a shot? No, the game's over, so we capped out for absolutely no reason. So yeah, this popped up. It was only a second class, and I thought, yeah, okay, reasonable enough result for a first game of the tank, especially when, like an idiot, you weren't thinking clearly and played without equipment and consumables. But we move in here, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's a nice surprise. And that tells me everything I need to know about the tank, because I thought the armor was fantastic, I thought the gun was good. I've only played one game of the tank, still have only played one game of the tank, but 1279 was a decent XP total, and it's only a second class, so that tells me everything I need to know, because it means that players are playing this tank extremely well. If 1279 is only a second class, then this tank is an absolute beast. So it's going to probably be a little bit harder to pick up an ace in this tank than some other tanks, but but it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun trying to, because yeah, I was very impressed. First game in the tank, the mobility seemed good, the armor seemed great, the gun was very, very good, and it would have been even better had I, as I say, given it equipment and consumables. But yeah, 17 shots fired, 15 hits, 13 pens. So thought the gun was pretty good. Damage was happy with the damage. So spotted 4, damage 5, destroyed 3, and 1349 assistance damage. And there we go. I mean, 100,000 credits with a premium tier 8 premium on the first game. Not too shabby. And of course I didn't fire any premium because I'd forgotten to install premium. So it was my first game ever in the tank, and I was very, very impressed. So and I'm, yeah, this is part of the rant you probably are never ever going to hear, but you know, 100 cap points, 0 damage, and caps out. Yeah, 0 damage players who drive straight to enemy cap and sit there, because that's the only XP they can get from the game. Yeah, I had a huge rant. Actually, it was earlier today. It would have been about 13, 14 hours ago. Yeah, big rant that you're never ever going to hear about the state of play, because I was just having a rough morning. But yeah, AMX M4 MLE 49 Liberté. I think it's a very, very solid tank, guys. I know you've probably already watched reviews if you're planning to get your hands on it, but first game of the tank, and it's everything I thought it would be. The armor on paper looked good, and it worked. The gun on paper looks good, and it worked. The mobility on paper looks okay, and it's okay. And I think it's a little bit of a beast, and if you enjoy playing, it's almost more like a German heavy than it is a French heavy, but that's not surprising. That is not surprising, because a lot of the post-war World War II tank design by the French, a lot of the designs that were never adopted, those tanks were based on a lot of German technology from World War II, so it does seem like a lot more like playing a German heavy than a French, and the camo rating is absolutely disgusting. But, you know, I'm not insulting the French flag, but, you know, this tank never existed, so where did this camo come from? The fact that Wargaming didn't give us an option to buy the tank without the camo, I don't know why they do that. I mean, surely Wargaming, again, this was part of the rant from earlier on, Wargaming, if you want us to buy premium tanks, you will make more money. You make more money if they don't have camos, especially not clown camos, because the camo, I'm sure there's some players out there who wouldn't buy the tank because of the camo. And then, if you were able to buy the tank, then maybe what you should do is add this camo in, and players can buy it for gold in-game. Charge the same price for the tank, but without camo. And then have this clown camo in-game as an option if players want to spend gold for the clown camo. And for those of us who don't, then basically allow us to choose the usual French camo ratings. And then you get the price of the tank, and you get paid. You get paid, Wargaming, from us, by us, for this tank. And then you get paid a second time when we put camo on the tank. And it doesn't have to be, we don't have to be forced into playing a tank with that looks, I think it looks quite awful, to be honest, but, you know, that's just my opinion. Some of you guys probably love this camo. Let me know in the comments. But, yeah, first impressions of the AMX M4 MLE 49, very, very positive. I think this tank is an absolute beast. Just a shame about the camo. And more videos are on the way. It depends on how long I'm able to sit here and keep recording, but I'll try and get as much done right now as I can, because I'm feeling okay for the moment. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.